You've got a great idea for your next quilt, but how can you really be sure that your design really is awesome? That it will stop the scroll and get people interested in your work? Can you confidently say that, yes, this is a design I want to share with the world? 20 questions to ask yourself when refining your design. Hi, I'm Ali, a designer and maker, and I teach quilters and designers like you how to design and write quilt patterns so you can confidently share your creativity and grow a creative business that you love. This video is part of a series on how to design a quilt. And so far in this series on how to design a quilt, we've looked at how to use the key of iteration to really get to the heart of our design idea. We have an understanding of what the design elements are, and now that we have a framework for looking at our work, let's go deeper again and use these design elements to look at our designs and really refine them so we can confidently share our creativity with the world. In this video, we'll recap the elements of design, and then we'll jump right into 20 questions to ask yourself when refining your design. So let's recap the elements of design. They are color, line, value, texture, shape or form, and space. Check out the video I did which goes deeper on each of these if you'd like some more information. So now that we have this tool set, how can we use it to really evaluate our design and come up with your best design yet? Well, I'm going to propose a series of questions here that can act as prompts for you to evaluate your design so you can be confident in taking it forward. This idea should be the one that you've been working on through the iteration phases, and should be an idea that you want to take further into the making stage. So you want to be thinking about or holding that design in your hand, or at least have it in front of you. And at this stage, you might have even drawn it a little bit bigger, or you might have some more details in it, or you might have even digitized it and have been playing with it and tweaking it on a computer. So I'm going to break down these 20 questions into themes based on their design elements. And this is a series of questions you can consider anytime when you're looking at your design. Skip over the ones that don't really apply to your work right now, and pause the video if you need some more time to consider your design in relation to the questions. While you're watching, I'd love to know which question resonates the most with you. Leave me a comment down below. All right, so let's get started with color. How have you used color? Can you use more color or less color? Can you reduce your palette to one hue with just multiple shades? And what effect does this have on the design? You could try recoloring as well if you're working digitally. What about line? Can you identify how you used line in your work? Don't forget to consider the seam allowances as well, the seam lines. Where does the eye go based on the lines in your design? And how could you change the lines to direct the viewer to a focal point that you want? What about value? What role does value play? So the lights and the darks. Does it help define the shapes in your work? Does it create depth? What would happen if you flipped the values, so change the light to dark or the dark to light? Let's think about shape. Have you used organic shapes, geometric shapes, abstract shapes? What effect would it have to change those organic shapes to geometric shapes? So hard edges to soft edges or vice versa. Are the shapes all the same, or do they vary in the composition? What about texture? Did you use texture? Why or why not? What would adding texture to the piece do? What would removing texture from the piece do? Have you considered how you might add texture through quilting? Let's think now about space. Is your composition busy or minimal? Is this a deliberate choice? How could you add or remove negative space? All right, now here are 2 bonus questions for you as well. What one thing do you love about your design or your composition? And what's one thing that you think you could improve on for the next time? Depending on the complexity of your design, some of these questions might not really apply right now. Just choose the ones that make sense. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below on which question resonated with you the most. I'm so curious to know. So when should you be asking these questions? I know you're thinking this might seem like a bit of overkill for like a really simple quilt block design, And I'm not suggesting you need to go through this process for every design, but asking and answering these questions about your work will really help you develop a sense of what it is you're trying to design. It's not just about bang it out in the fastest way possible. This consideration and reflection on your work is such an important part of developing your design skills and creating the best designs that you can. After all, you want to design something great, right? Not just another quilt. Reviewing and thinking about what you've designed is a critical step in developing your design skills and improving your design eye. It really is one of the best ways to grow as a designer. I hope you enjoyed this video as part of my series on how to design a quilt. You can check out the other videos in the series by checking out my channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified when I release a new video. That's all for now, and I'll see you soon. And in the meantime, don't forget that design is for every day. Yeah, I'm still not really sure about this tagline, hey? Does it even make sense? Hit me up in the comments.